Well, hello and welcome to the iDaph podcast. I am Allison Caps. I work with iDaph on marketing and design, and I have with me today Daphne Kirkwood, who is the owner and race director at iDaph. And we just want to welcome you to the Asheville Half Marathon podcast.
Yeah, it's so exciting to be here at this point. It's been such a wild ride and journey to get here this week, a week before the event. So many memories of what it looked like last year at this time, and just the nightmare of a year ago. So really happy to be here where we're at, advancing, and ready to put on a relocated special edition race.
Yeah, and so the race will be this or next Saturday, March 20th, downtown Asheville for the special edition Asheville Half. And we are just really excited that we were able to make this event happen this year. It moved from Biltmore to downtown so that we could have the race for 2021. And we're just so excited that we got to make it happen this year because, like Daphne said, it was a heartbreak last year not being able to do it. So Daphne, why don't you tell us a little bit about how the race started, how there's been many years of it, and just some highlights?
Yeah, so we're in our ninth year of the race. So next year we'll be celebrating our 10th anniversary. It started just as a marathon. We sold out our first year, and then we added on a half marathon. And along the way, we've added 2 days of racing instead of one day, with two half marathons on each day. And we've also added on challenges where people could do the half and the full. So it's become quite a production, and it's been just, my love and my passion, planning and creating this for our community of runners, not just locally, but also worldwide. We have folks come from all 50 states, internationally, for the event as well. And so, we're in a pandemic still, and unfortunately, we weren't able to have the event at Biltmore this March, but we do plan to go back there next year in 2022. And so talked to the city of Asheville, and they granted us a conditional permit for the event to happen on March 20th, like you said, Allison. And just so grateful. We have been producing in-person, safe, socially distanced events since June in our community. We've produced 5Ks, another half marathon, triathlon, cycling events. And so we really have immersed ourselves in how to do events safely now, and feel like we have a good handle on that, and are excited to be able to offer this in downtown Asheville safely for runners.
Yeah, so you mentioned that we've switched to downtown. Where exactly in downtown are we gonna be?
Yeah, so the heart of downtown in Pack Square, the race actually starts at Reuter Terrace, which is right in the middle. We do have a course preview video. It's on YouTube. If you just search Asheville Half Marathon course preview, you can check that out, and it will show you probably more than you need to know, but it's a great it's a great spot to check out and just get the lay of the land, especially if you are from out of town.
Yeah, I think it's super thorough, but it will be really helpful, especially with a socially distanced race. And along those lines, like you said, we're still in a pandemic. So, what safety protocols can we expect, and what rules will there be?
Yeah. Well, first off, before folks even get to the start line, they will be required to complete a COVID waiver. And so that will be sent out, and all the runners need to complete that before race day. And we'll have temperature screenings by PT Solutions before they start the race, right at the start line. So that will be done there. Runners are required to wear their masks until they are running. I would advise that everybody takes a face covering or mask with you while you're running. If you're within 6 feet of someone, you are technically supposed to put your mask on. This will be a rolling wave start. And so I don't expect there to be big clumps of people running together. But I would take that mask, especially if you end up hanging out at a water station or going into a restroom or something like that, so that you can put it back on. That is North Carolina COVID guidelines and what we are following for the event. So, and then after you finish, we will have a buff at the finish line that you can grab and put on if you'd like, a fresh face covering. But when you finish, you will also need to put that on.
Awesome. Yeah, that buff will be nice, just to grab and put on at the end. And so we typically have like a charity partner, and I know for the Asheville Marathon and Half, the partner has a lot to do with the race. What is our charity partner for this year? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, just due to the nature of this event, the scale of the charity programs is a little bit different this year, and we hope to get back to doing charity spots and entries and stuff like that next year. But we're just so excited to have 3 charity partners who have been part of the event in the past, and we're actually supposed to be part of it last year when the race canceled. So excited to have them all involved. Consider Haiti is a charity partner, and they are going to have a raffle at the post-race party. So make sure and come get raffle tickets from them and support their programs. They have a clean water initiative that they're really raising funds for in Haiti. So they're a great one to give back to. Western Carolina Rescue Ministries, amazing nonprofit here in downtown Asheville, and their heart is for homeless people. And we just love every bit of their mission and what they do for the homeless in our community. And so we are doing a shoe drive for the rescue ministry. So bring your gently used or new shoes that maybe didn't fit right. All kinds of shoes. It doesn't just have to be tennis shoes, but they do like tennis shoes, and could be for kids, for adolescents, teens. But bring those shoes. You can drop them off at the drive-through packet pickup on Friday, or you can bring those to the post-race party. And so we're collecting those for them. And then Goodwill Industries is going to be helping with volunteers on the course. Western Carolina Rescue Ministry will as well. But both of those two charity partners, you can donate online through Race Roster, through our online registration. So if you haven't given to them and you want to go back in, you can still do that. But both of them are just great nonprofits here locally that we want to support, and are glad we're able to do that through this event.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know I definitely have some shoes in the back of my closet that I need to bring. So I'll be doing that. And as a runner, I'm sure that a lot of people have shoes that maybe don't fit the best anymore, or aren't the most supportive for running, but they would be fine for everyday use for someone in need. So that is
Yeah.
awesome. I will definitely bring those on packet pickup day. So let's talk a little bit about race weekend, mentioning packet pickup. How will it be different than years in the past, and how is it a little bit the same? And kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, so we, typically have a big expo, 2-day expo or 1.5 days at Doubletree Hotel, and we will not have that this year. We're trying to keep everything outdoors and socially distanced. So a lot of people have elected to have their things mailed to them instead of coming to packet pickup. In fact, I am busy mailing them out today. We'll finish that tomorrow. So watch for those packages, guys. But yeah, so we'll have a drive-through packet pickup, and that is on Friday. the day before the race, and that is from 3 to 7 o'clock. You can pick up for somebody else, friend, family member, that might not be able to come and get that. So you're welcome to pick those up for them. There is no race day packet pickup. So super duper important that you pick it up at the drive-through packet pickup. That's your only chance besides mailing, and the mailing offering has passed at this point. So let's see. I think that is the biggest thing about packet pickup. You'll stay in your car. That's one thing that when we've been doing the packet pickups, the drive-through style, some people still want to get out and walk up, and you just don't need to. Just follow the signage when you get to Doubletree in Biltmore Village. We'll have signs up directing you which way to go. It'll be around the back of the Doubletree, and then we'll get your stuff for you and get you on your way.
Yeah, that's awesome. It makes it super convenient that you don't even have to get out of your car. So
Yes.
it's easy. Just come and see us at the Doubletree on Friday, and make sure that you, like Daphne said, get in town soon enough to do it if you're coming from out of town, if you haven't signed up for the shipping already. So just to reiterate, there is no packet pickup on race day, right, Daphne?
That's right. Yep. And of the people that we are mailing their packages out, the race number and the t-shirt, if they want to get that goodie bag that has some goodies in it from our sponsors, Athleta is actually giving us the bags. So they should be really nice. So that'll be really fun. And those extra goodie bags for people who have opted for the mailing, they can pick those up at the post-race party. So don't feel like you're missing out on the goodie bag. If you get your package in the mail, you can still pick that up after you're done racing at the party.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's good to know, because everyone likes those little things that come in the bags. So let's switch gears to race day now. When people get downtown, where should they park?
Yeah, there's so much parking. There are several parking decks that are just within walking distance. There's street parking available. Again, I'm going to steer people towards the course preview video. I go into depth. I actually show people on the map exactly where the parking lots are. That information's also on our event guide and website too.
Okay, awesome. So we have roll-in starts this year, and so after you've parked and you make your way down to the Pack Square area and to the terrace, what do they need to be prepared for as far as the start? Will there be a gun going off? What's going on?
Yeah, so the race starts at 7:30 officially, but people have signed up for wave start times every 5 minutes. And so you really need to look at your confirmation email if you can't remember what time you selected. But they would be 7:30 to 7:34, 7:35 to 7:39, 7:40 to 7:49, and so on. Or they might be 10 minutes apart actually, but regardless, look at your confirmation and you have that time window of 4 minutes or so to get to the start line to start. So as soon as you get to the start line, you're going to get your temperature checked and you're going to go across the mat and start. So have your watch ready, have your warm up done, have your bathroom done, all of those things before you get to Reuter Terrace at the start line. We really don't want any gathering or hanging out around that start area. So do your warm ups over by the YMCA, not on the course, and take care of all your business before you get to the start. There's no reason to get there more than a couple minutes before your start wave. And like I said, once you get there, we're going to have you start. So that's the biggest thing, is that you'll be starting all along that wave time period and not just every 5 minutes everybody goes at once. You just keep on going. It's a rolling start.
Yeah. I have a quick question about the start, just
Yeah.
as a runner and knowing my start line rituals. Are there going to be restrooms at the start?
Good question. Yes, there are restrooms right at Reuter Terrace. And then there's going to be some porta johns there as
Okay,
well.
cool.
So, yep.
Awesome. So we'll get our bib and swag, and make sure that, I just want to reiterate, make sure that your bib is pinned to your pants or your shirt so that it can be easily seen. We're messing with iffy weather here, so make, if you think it's going to be warm, we're not sure, yet. March can be so different here in the mountains. So
Yes,
you may need to
unpredictable.
make sure it's pinned to your pants because you have an extra jacket on, or you might need to make sure it's pinned to your pants because you're going to shed your shirt. So who knows, but just make sure that it's visible, that if you do have a jacket or extra layers on, that it's not under a layer. Just want to make sure that'll help the volunteers know how to direct you, but it will also help it pick up on our timing mats.
Yeah. And just to add to that, make sure it's on your front of your body, and don't bend it or fold it or crinkle it, because there is a timing chip on the back. So you want to just treat it with care.
Awesome. We kind of talked a little bit about where the start and finish are. Are they at the same place?
They are not. They are close to each other, within sight distance, but they are in two separate spots, and we're doing that for COVID reasons and for safety. And so the Reuter Terrace at the top is where the start banner will be. And then the finish line is going to be next to Pax Tavern on Spruce Street. And
Okay,
so you can see that in the course preview video too.
awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the course, and it's obviously way different than previous years because it's in a new location, but um, how does it compare as far as elevation and things like that? What
Well,
will
I'm
you
glad you
see too?
asked, Allison, because this has been the $1 billion question. Like, how are you going to come up with, a course that doesn't kill everybody in downtown Asheville? We know that downtown Asheville half marathons in the past have been notorious for being just brutal courses. And, I'm just so grateful. And we're so fortunate that the new Greenway has been completed, the section that's along the river. It really provides more connectivity in Asheville. And so it allows us to have an event that starts in downtown, runs flat along the river for miles and miles and miles, and then back to downtown. The bad part about it is we're starting on a hill going down flat, but you have to come back up at the end.
Oh
So
no.
that
And
means
we know Daphne's hills aren't easy.
no, no. And, I tried every which way around it when I was designing the course, but really the safest way was to go what we're doing. And so about a mile 11 and a half, it starts the incline. And then by mile 12, you are full-fledged going up the Stinker Hill on Klingman Avenue. And then it's a little bit of a false flat with some little kicker hills that will take you back up to downtown. So I know that stinks because at the end of a race, you just want to have done all the hard stuff. And this one, the end is the hardest part. So make sure, my advice for you as a runner is save some juice for the end. You know, it's so flat that I think we can get on a roll on the flat land and everything. But just remember, and I don't want it to haunt you, but just remember that you still have a hill to climb to the finish. So, and please, no curse words for me as you are doing that stinker hill.
Yes. So it won't exactly be the old course of going up first and coming down, but it will be a really beautiful course. And I
Yes.
think that people will really enjoy seeing lots of different neighborhoods in Asheville
Yeah.
along the way, because it is a different course than any other half that's been in Asheville because it's brand new.
Yeah, it's
So
very
that'll be
scenic.
fun.
Really, you're going through multiple parks and on the Greenway, and for a downtown course, there's a lot of scenery to it.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So when do people have to finish that Stinker Hill by? When does the course close? How much
12:30.
time do they have?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people out there at 12:30 still, but that's
Yeah.
when the course becomes unsupported. The volunteers
Okay.
and police will be leaving. Yeah.
Okay, great. Um, and there's been so many changes lately, and I know that you mentioned this a little bit, but um, at what point do people have to wear their masks, and do they have to while they're running? Are there certain parks that we're going through that need it, that require it?
Yeah, as of this podcast, there is not a rule from North Carolina that says that runners have to wear a mask while they're running or a face covering. There is a rule if you're within 6 feet of someone that you need to be socially distanced and or wearing a face covering. So again, have that on before you start your race, have it on when you finish, have it on if you go into a restroom while you're running. Um, at the water station, at the post race party. Those are all times that you're going to want to have a mask with you or a face covering. And the buffs are just so handy to just keep around your neck and lift them up when you need to. So, but yeah, that's what the latest is on that.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about course markings and signs because this can be tricky on a socially distanced race. You and I love to run with music and headphones. We've got our AirPods in and we just go to trucking along, and then all of a sudden you're not on the course anymore. So we just want to encourage people to keep your volume low, and then number one, so you hear traffic because the roads aren't going to be closed because it's a socially distanced longer race, so we don't have the ability to close the roads, but also so that you are aware and you can pay attention to the volunteers to help you get directed in the right way. So Daphne, what are some tips to help people? We mentioned the course preview video, but
Yeah.
what color signs should they be looking for and all of that?
Yeah, so we'll have yard signs up, either the regular yard sign shape, or we'll have some tall signs up in various spots. And then we'll have pink route arrow stickers and pink spray paint on the ground. So those will be the course markings. If you watch the course preview, I will tell you exactly where you need to be running during that course preview, what side of the road, what it looks like, that sort of thing. So highly recommend checking that out. The advantage of having this race in a downtown setting with street names is that you can go check it out before the race. You can drive a
Yeah.
lot of the course, the greenway sections you can't drive on, but you can drive beside them. So, if you want to zone out a little bit during your run, I would suggest the course. But yeah, keep your music at a level where you can hear people passing you. If you are passing someone, try to stay 6 feet away from them and call out that you're on the left or you're passing them. Like you said, this is not a closed course, so there's going to be people walking. There's going to be kids on bikes. There's going to be, vehicular traffic. And so, while we expect that to be limited, especially early in the morning on Saturday, it's all stuff to watch out for and be aware of. So, yeah, so that's what I would say about that.
Just to not scare runners too, if you do get turned around, this is going to be a fairly large race, and it will be very rare that you will be around no one. So there
Yeah.
will be some people around, and we will have volunteers out there as well. So
Yeah, and due to the out and back nature of this course, a lot of it is repetitive. So it's spectator friendly. That's one of the amazing things about this course is there are so many spots that you can have friends and family come out and cheer you on. And
yeah,
Also cheer on the fellow runners. Like, this is one of the first in-person half marathons that's happened, and it's very exciting. And what I've heard from people that they've missed with virtual races is actually just the camaraderie and seeing other people in the moment running.
Yeah.
And so as you're passing people, give them a high five, like air high five, don't touch them.
Yeah, don't touch them.
But cheer them on. Like, it's super exciting. Enjoy the moment and just soak it in. That's the thing, is it will happen so fast. Even if you're a 3 or 4 hour half marathon runner, like, it will go by in a blink of an eye. So enjoy it.
Yeah. That'll be so fun to have all the spectators down on the river and like through Carrier Park and stuff. I think that there's a lot of really cool places. So make sure you guys check out the map online for that, and communicate that to your friends and family of where they could catch you. So where are the water stations and the restrooms on the course? I know
Yeah.
that they're a little bit in the middle, but outline that for us.
Yeah. So because of COVID, we have really been encouraging runners to bring their own fuel, water, nutrition, and unfortunately now there's so many great things that you can use handheld, and shirts with pockets and shorts with pockets and stuff like that. If you're in Asheville, go to Fleet Feet. They have some of those handheld things that you could use on race day. So that would be my first suggestion, is bypass even stopping if you can. If you feel like you still need to stop at a water station, we will have a couple of them. They are in the same area. You're going to pass them twice, basically. So at mile 5 and mile 8 is where you'll find those. And we will have Fleet Feet there. They'll be manning those stations, handing out water.
Awesome.
We'll have Gatorade. We will have some gels. We'll have green moose fuel there, handing out some of their, I guess you call them gels. And then we'll have some bars as well. So we won't have any foods that are not packaged. So that will be different than what our water stations tend to have looked like in the past.
Okay.
But we're keeping it safe.
So no fruit. Don't expect fruit.
Correct.
Or anything unpackaged. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And once they get to the station, they'll notice some differences too with, picking up the water, and the way that that's done, for safety. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing to mention, that if you're super fast and you're expecting someone to hand the water to you, they're not going to hand it to you. You got to get it off the table yourself, just for contactless. And so now that we've talked about water, let's talk about restrooms.
Oh yeah, restrooms. Yes, they sort of go hand in hand, don't they? So there is a porta-john that is at the picnic shelter area at mile 5 and 8 where the water station is. There's just one there, but there's a set of restrooms not far from that in Carrier Park, that's by the velodrome, and that's full-fledged restrooms where you can wash your hands and everything. And so that's really a good spot, and that is about mile 7.5 is that restroom. And then down at the end at the turnaround, mile 6.5 at Hominy Creek Park, you have to at the turnaround just keep going through the park, and there's a porta-john right there. And then there's some other restrooms. The other notable one at French Broad River Park is mile 9.25, and that's a full-blown restroom, wash your hands, everything. And then there's some other places, like you could run into the Wedgett Foundation, 12 Bones. That's mile 3 and 10. It's a little off course, but you could run there. And then there's a couple more that are listed under the restroom section on the event guide. So, if you want to know where all those are at, you can check that out.
Okay, awesome. That should cover people. So what are rules for the race? I know we've mentioned our COVID rules and all of that, but what other rules should we expect can and can't do?
Yeah, I think it's not really a rule per se, but it's I want people to really have fun and to be encouraging to each other and have professional and courteous behavior, and that's with other participants as well as the people who are on the greenway, with volunteers, with police. We're all in this together and we're all out there for you. And so just being mindful of that and be positive, have a good attitude, have fun. We all know that things don't always go our way, that things come up, and sometimes we have to be flexible. So I would just keep that in mind. Um, there are no rollerblades allowed or roller skates, Allison. So if you're planning on rollerblading the course, you cannot do that.
It would be so fast.
I know it would. We already mentioned the routes are open to car traffic. A lot of this course, though, is on Greenway and in the park where there are no cars. So I think people will be pleasantly surprised about that. But if you are on roads that are open to traffic, please do not run in the middle of the road. All of the roads have sidewalks and bike lanes. Stay in those areas. Don't run in the middle of the road, please. And then the last one I would just reiterate is don't arrive more than 5 minutes before your start time, or a minute before your start time. There's just no need to hang out around the start line. And we just have very tight event gathering restrictions in North Carolina. And so we want to adhere to those, and we want to keep it safe for everybody. So really, I know in the past people just want to get there as soon as the race starts at 7:30. This is not that type of race. This is a wave rolling start race. So stay in your car, take care of your stretching, like I said, in other areas besides the race hub area, and just don't come to the race hub until it's time for you to start. And then when you're finished, get your stuff and leave. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, again, with event gathering restrictions, we don't want people hanging out. So get your things, and then head to the post-race party. That's where the action's going to be after the event.
Awesome. Real quick, as far as the rules go, if I have a really athletic dog or a stroller that I want to push for 13 miles, I've just got some real good upper body strength, can I?
We have said no to both of those for this
Okay.
event, just because the nature of the course being open, and we don't know what the weather is going to be like. So I just would hate for a dog to be going, 13 miles, and it might be hot and just not safe for them. So we've said no on both of those.
Good idea. Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've run an awesome race and we'll cross the finish line. You kind of just mentioned it, but what's next?
Yep. So you'll grab your amazing, beautiful finisher medal, that Allison helped design. Woohoo! I believe isn't it stained glass in it?
Yeah, it's got like a sun catcher.
Sun catcher. That's right.
A sun catcher. The AVL, the logo that's behind both of us, is going to be sun catcher, so you'll be able to kind of see light come through it, which will be really cool and kind of reminiscent of like the art scene in Nashville. So I think it'll be really great.
That's
People
awesome.
will really enjoy it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on those. So they're supposed to be here next week. Let's see. Those will be at our medal station. It's contactless, so you just pick that up on your own. Volunteer's not going to hand that to you because of COVID.
Okay.
So make sure you grab that. Some people just, their adrenaline's pumping and they go right past it. So don't forget your medal, and keep it on, because Allison will tell you about it at the party, but keep it on. You want to wear it all day. That's the rule. Once you finish a half marathon, you have to wear that medal all day. That's my rule. And then we'll have buffs at the finish line and, some drinks and stuff.
Awesome. So what kind of food and drinks will they have? I know you mentioned like packaged foods. So what can they expect? What should they bring themselves?
Yeah, it'll be minimal at the finish line. We'll have water and some Gatorade and some packaged granola bars.
Okay,
So the main food will be at the post race party.
awesome. Well, speaking of the post race party, we're going to pause for a quick ad from one of our sponsors. Very good. So we cannot wait to have the post race party. We're so excited that we were able to make this happen. 12 Bones is world famous for their barbecue, and it's definitely an Asheville local favorite hotspot for tourists to go to too. So we're super excited to partner with them to host the post race party. Daphne, do you have a favorite meal at 12 Bones?
Yeah, pretty much. They know me by name there.
Really?
Yeah, I've been trying to do vegan vegetarian stuff for a few years, but every once in a while I just have to go in and get the turkey sandwich. It is
Mm.
really to die for. It just melts in your mouth, and then all of their sides are fantastic. So, you are in for a treat at the post race party. Take advantage of 12 Bones. They're actually opening up on Saturday. They're usually closed on Saturdays. Um, at the river, 12 Bones. They're opening up for our race. So super grateful to them. And then the Wedget Foundation is where you're going to get your free beer. And Summit Coffee is where you'll get your coffee fix. And so, all of that is on Foundy Street. It's at mile 3, mile 10 along the course. A great spectator spot as well. But yeah, that's where we're going to have the party, and it'll be worth attending.
Yes, it will. The Wedget Foundation has great beer, and there's nothing more refreshing than good beer after um, 13 miles. So that'll be awesome. And Summit Coffee is legitimately probably my favorite coffee spot in Asheville. And I am a coffee snob. So it is
Hmm.
good coffee. It
What's your
is
favorite there, Allison?
well, like I said, I'm a coffee snob, and so I just get straight pour over coffee of their roasted beans. They roast their own beans, and so a pour over is always good. Um,
Nice.
yeah, and so here's a list of everything that's going to happen at the post race party that you don't want to miss out on. We'll have a DJ there outside. Then like we mentioned, you'll get a free beer at the at the foundation. I do want to mention that there are two wedges. So if you put that um, into Google Maps, just make sure you Google Wedge at Foundation, and it'll get you the right spot. And your beer ticket is only for that location.
Good call.
Um,
That's true.
yeah, and then there is a 10% off at 12 Bones, so you get 10% off that turkey sandwich that day. And then 15% off at Summit Coffee. And then we just place the order for an awesome photo backdrop that you'll be able to take pictures of in front of with your medal and with your friends that you raced with. Then I think we mentioned the Consider Haiti raffle. Yoga and massage will be there for free. Post race massages, PT Solutions will be there for adjustments and consults. So if you feel like you might have tweaked something during the race, or you're having a hard time getting recovery with your muscles, just head on over there for a quick consult. We'll have some race merchandise for sale. So, like Daphne mentioned, we're not having a post or a pre-race expo this year, but this is a spot where post race party is a spot where you will be able to purchase some extra swag. So that will be fun. And we mentioned that goodie bags are going to be available for runners that had their bib and shirt mailed to them. So when you get your package, if you're like, wait, I missed all this race goodies that I normally get at a race, we have it for you. It's just at the post race party. So lots of things happening. It'll be
Mhm.
super fun. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. So don't worry if you're a slower race, or just you can head to the post race party when you're done. If you race earlier in the morning, if your time slot is like 7:30 or so, you have plenty of time to go back to your hotel or house and shower and then go to lunch. So
Mhm.
um, just it'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I think a few things to mention. I mean, it's so exciting and we're so happy to be able to do it. It's going to happen rain or shine. We've already put our request in for all shine, 50
Yeah.
degrees to 60 degrees on race day. But in case it doesn't shine the whole day, it will be outdoors, but there is going to be covered areas, picnic areas, plenty of spots to space out and stay away from folks. Face coverings are required unless you're eating or drinking. So keep that in mind. But then when you take pictures of yourself and selfies at the photo backdrop with your medal on that you still have on from when you finished, the hashtag that we're using this year, we're using a couple of them, but hashtag AVL half 2021 is one that you can use, and we'll be reposting some of those pictures throughout the day. So,
Yeah.
make sure and tag the race, or, you can do the @ AVL marathon, the name of the race on Instagram, and we can also find you that way. But those are two things to mention. And then also wanted to just mention that if you look online and you see that you are supposed to get an age group or an overall award, we will have gift certificates from Fleet Feet there. And then we have really cool recycled wine bottles from the estate that in the River Arts District we had melted down. And those have a label on them. They're really commemorative and custom. And so right there in the River Arts District is where those got put together. And so it's a really cool takeaway from the artsy part of Asheville. And those will be available from 2 to 3 at the party. Not before 2 and not after 3, just from 2 to 3. And then if you
Yes.
can't make it there during that hour, your flight leaves, or yeah, you got to get going, whatever. You can have it mailed, but they will be $20 to have them mailed because they are glass and they're fragile. But you can totally do that. And then we'll have them at Fleet Feet, Asheville, the following week after the race. If you're local and you don't get a chance to come to the party, you could pick it up there. But, we'd love to have you come pick it up at the party if you can.
Yeah. And just to mention, like you said, the results and um, being posted online, because this is a socially distanced race, when you
Mhm.
finish, if your name is popped up, check back in a couple hours because someone could have started after you who was faster than you.
Yep.
That's confusing and mind boggling sometimes, especially for runners who are used to the like, oh, I finished first mentality. So
Yeah, and
just check on that.
sometimes we wait just a little bit to even post the results. We used to do them instantaneously, but sometimes we wait a little bit just for that reason, because people who finish at 8:30 or 9, they're like, oh, great, I'm first, or, and then by noon or 1 o'clock, they are not even listed in the top 3 for the
Yeah.
age group, which I know is disappointing. Um, but it is worth mentioning that your position could very well change throughout, and so keep tabs on that. And then there is a timing checkpoint at the turnaround at mile 6.5,
Okay.
and so we will collect that information, which will take us a little while. Hence, not doing the awards till 2 o'clock, because we will confirm that folks all cross that timing map. And so, if there are issues with your time or anything like that, you can talk to us about it at the party, and we can work on resolving it there.
Okay, great. And so just to reiterate, you can find those at iDaph.net, and we will be having a virtual award ceremony the week after the event. Do we have the date for that, Daphne?
I want to say it's Tuesday at noon.
Okay, I think that's right too. That's what I was about to say. So Tuesday after the event at noon, and that'll be the virtual award ceremony. So don't feel like you're, we will have the award ceremony even if you've picked up your smushed wine bottle, which I personally am excited to see these. I've been watching this glass blowing show on Netflix. So
Nice.
I know how they're made now.
Well, and maybe next year that could, since we're doing so many craft projects lately, maybe that could be part of something that we do next year, is we just blow them ourselves, just smush them ourselves.
Yes, for sure. So is there anything else that people need to know? I feel like we've covered from parking all the way to post-race party.
Yeah, I do want to mention that, it will suck. It will be terrible if you get sick before this
Mhm.
race, but COVID
Yeah.
is still happening. And we really do not want you to come if you're sick or you've been around somebody who's been sick within the last 14 days. That's part of the pledge that you've taken when you signed the waiver and when you signed
Yeah.
the COVID guidelines. So, if you cannot attend because of those reasons, we hate that for you, but we also admire you for not coming, because we want to keep our running community safe, our volunteers and everything. So we do have a virtual option. I know it's not the same, but you can definitely go do the same course if you want to on your own and submit your time. You can run wherever you live, wherever you're at, and submit that. I'm going to do the virtual race, which is
Oh,
a lot of
fun.
fun.
Have you
But
ever been
it's
able to run the Asheville half?
no, I've never been able to do it. So having the virtual option allows me to also take part and do this with you guys. So,
Fun.
if you feel sick, if something's not right, if you're not able to make it, we do have the ability to change you into the virtual race. So please let us know. You can make that switch on Race Roster yourself, or you can email us. But I just wanted to reiterate that. And then another thing just to mention is the new Appalachian Trilogy,
Yeah.
which is so exciting. We have 3 half marathons this year. We have, starting with the Asheville half, then we have a new race, the Jump Off Rock half, which is going to be one of the fastest downhill half marathons in the South. And that's on May the 8th. And then we have the Black Bear half, which we started this past fall. And that one is along a greenway in Hendersonville. And all of them are, within about 30 minutes of each other in the Hendersonville, Asheville area. And so if you sign up for all 3 of them, sign up for the Appalachian Trilogy. We have a really cool spinny gold finisher medal that Allison designed, that will be yours if you do all 3. And you can do them all in person. You can do 2 of them in person and 1 of them virtual. It doesn't matter. But I'll just mention that in case you want to be part of something more beyond just this race.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the runners at the 3 different races, and I am super jealous of the runners that are running the Jump Off Rock half because it'll be a fun, fast spring race. So that's kind of the next one to look forward to. And that one's on May 8th. So
Yeah.
if
And
you have so
we're
much
almost sold
fun
out
on
on
March
that one.
20th, say that again.
We're almost sold out on that one.
Oh
Too.
no. So
Yeah.
if you're interested, go sign up like now.
Yeah.
So, all right, Daphne, I think that is it. Thank you guys for listening all the way to the end. Um, thank you for running with us. We appreciate your support, and we can't wait to see you next Saturday.
Yeah, we're looking forward to putting this on for you, and rest up. I know it's taper time, which can lead to feeling a little antsy, but take advantage of doing other things besides running right now. And then we'll see you at the race in just a couple days.
All right, we'll see you then.